Page 139, exercise 10.3. This is a continuation of moving the hands around. Mixing the hands are up. Well, all kinds of fun here. Obviously there's no pedal in it because there's staccato all over the place. Forget the staccato for a minute. Let's just disconnect the notes. It's just here, you're going to start with the left. Here you got treble clef in the bottom staff. Now you have two flats, so we're in the key of, what is B flat? That's fine. So we're here. Now watch this. You see this, where the hands, suddenly the left hand wants to play the B flat, and then the right hand wants to play it. And then the left hand goes here. It's like, yeah. Well, they have an RH over there, and that's telling you put the right hand on top, because you don't know which hand sometimes to go on top. So here they're saying put the right hand on. If you have to, you take that right hand and move it a little closer in if you have to get it on top, and you keep the left hand low. So it's here. You get the idea? Now, when you do the staccato, as I just did, let me explain the notation a little bit because it's confusing to a lot of people. In the left hand, we have staccato eighth notes. And it's best to learn that left hand by itself for a while till you get it. But in the right hand, you have all these 16th notes and 16th note rests, and that can get confusing. What all they're doing is trying to get you to understand that you're simply alternate, boom, 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 boom. And this is the notation that allows you to do that. Because it's staccato, it's going to sound like the left hand is playing a 16th note and a 16th note rest. So it's a 16th note and then it's resting while the right hand does its 16th note. So they're alternating. It's just an easier way to read it. And it also helps to tell you where the melody is. The melody is going to be these eighth notes. That's what we're after. These other notes are afterthoughts. They're between the beat. So, but it's going to sound like 16th note, 16th note rest in the left hand. And that's really what it is. Kind of fun once you get the hang of it. It's another little piece that's easy to memorize once you get it. Now, get down to the last few measures here. And we're done with this moving the hands around bit. Now it's going to be more like good luck with the hands here. The last three measures. The left hand you just got here. They put the E flat in parentheses, the flat sign. Play it 3-2, not 4-2. Use third finger instead of fourth finger. I'm saving fourth finger because I want the fifth finger coming up on that low F. And I don't have to move my hand around as much. So for the last three measures in the left hand, I would play that middle C with third finger, not second. So it's here. And then the chord, I would do a 3-2, then a 1, and then another 3. And then I can do a 3-2-1 for the next chord. And then I can reach down almost and get the F. And then here again, 3. So I'm not using my fourth finger here at all. It's just because this is really, or this, these are the chords I'm after here, and that's the fingering I'm positioning my hand for. That's my style of fingering. You can finger it their way if you want to, I'm sure. In the right hand, you're now all the 16th notes are in one hand, so now you got to play them a little quicker. So you're here, watch the fingering, you're here in the last three measures. Here, 2 note slurs. And you got to learn to do it quickly, the same speed as this is. This has to be the. And then again in the next one, Now that's a staccato. Top note's the melody. That's what we want to hear. Next to the last measure, there's some confusion, and I can't clear it up here, but I want to explain it. In music notation and in piano playing, because as pianists we're always using 2 or 3 stabs at a time. We're reading 2 or 3 stabs at a time as we play. 2 most of the time, but you get 3 sometimes. And you know you're reading them at the same time because of those bar lines and the curly brace. It connects them all together. And when they're connected together with a vertical line like that, it indicates to read all those stabs that are connected at the same time. If you look at a conductor's score in a piece of music, at the beginning, that bar line pretty much goes all the way down, pretty much. But you're reading, you got to read all the lines. Well, it causes some problems. Each staff is still a little bit independent. Now in piano playing, I've never seen a situation where the key signature or time signature is going to be different between the stabs. They always seem to be the same. You can imagine how confusing it would be if suddenly you had different key signatures or different time signatures at the same time on different stabs. It's like, what? When you get into key signatures and accidentals, it causes some confusion. So here, there are 2 flats in the key signature, and the key of B flat. So all the B's and all the E's are automatically flat. And I already said, a third measure from the end in the left hand, they put in a flat sign in parentheses. And in my opinion, you don't need that flat sign. It's going to be flat anyway. But in the next to the last measure, they put in a natural sign in front of the first E. Well, depending on who you ask, some people will say that natural sign on that E applies to all E's for the rest of the measure. It doesn't matter where they are. Which would indicate the E in the left hand. You see on the second beat of this chord, that E, that would indicate that would also be natural. So it would be here. So they put in a flat sign to indicate, no, it's not natural, it's flat. But they put it in parentheses because it's really not necessary. Because the accidentals, when they're introduced, apply to that staff. You can't go to other staffs and say, hey, I had an accidental here, you got to go with me. And some people would disagree with that. No, it applies to everything, you just forget it. But technically speaking, it only goes to that staff. So this E natural applies to the top staff. The bottom staff, that would be an E flat anyway, even if they didn't put in the flat sign. Because it doesn't have to follow the same accidental that was in the other staff. In my opinion, they're independent. Now it's nice of them, and it's safest, it's really the best to do what they did, is put in the flat sign and put it in parentheses. So you know it's flat, and they're just being nice to you. And that's my spiel on that. We may talk about this more later on in the book. We'll see. Now, as you read this music and you're just doing this stuff, I'm a firm believer you need to understand all these symbols and things you see in the music. Because the one thing that you overlook or you disregard or whatever will turn out to be one of the most important things in the music. And here, at the beginning, you see it's MP, which is medium soft. You decide how soft that is. I don't know what it is. But it says sempre staccato. Well, sempre means always. Staccato, you already know it. So it's simply saying always staccato. I don't know why it's saying that, because they put staccatos in all the notes that are staccato. The last 3 measures, the notes in the right hand are nice, not staccato, because they got 2-note slurs. So you're here. We want to hear the slurs. And then when it is staccato, they put in staccato again. So I don't know why they bothered put in sempre staccato. It's kind of redundant in my opinion, but I need you to understand, I don't need you, I'd like you to understand what it means. And that's what it means.